morning. My name is Jose Zimmerman, alias Joss. My profession is architecture supervisor. I also do appraisal reports, commercial and residential.
My name is Derek Simmons. I'm an Island Council member from Eustatius. Was born here. I have an anthropology background, actually have a bachelor's degree. And I also work in the IT field.
My name's Nicholas Budsberg. I'm an archaeologist. I used to work here on Statia full-time, and I've had the pleasure to come back and help guide with this project. So we hope to do some archaeological testing and see if we can find a suitable place for our project.
Hi, my name is Javier Gordon. I am the Assistant Heritage Inspector. I'm here to oversee and help with some archaeological work.
We have about 69 total people that came out of that burial ground at Golden Rock. And so they would be split into these two sections. Now, with our testing strategy, as we've been talking about...
Let me turn this just to orientate.
Not
Because this would be aligned now with this road.
Excellent, okay. There's benefits and goods and bads, pros and cons.
Yeah, definitely.
And I'm not really against any. Archaeologically speaking, our goal is to at least test 1 to 2% of a larger area with our test units. These, as you said, they're very small. Usually you have one test unit, especially if you're on an archaeological site, which we count this as, in about 15 square meters.
Okay.
And so if you're at 18 square meters, you really get away with one per, technically speaking. Could always drop one in the middle.
Yeah.
And then you'll know, if you come down on something, you know you have to deviate at least that far.
Yes.
If you hit something here, you might be tempted to go, oh, here. But then you might hit something here. And so you kind of get stuck with trying to find the location.
Mhm.
So in my head, I had initially thought, let's start with 2 in this area and go middle and middle. Input. I see 3.5 here for this wall of the info center. Estimating from our border here to maybe this line is about 5 meters.
Yes, sir.
So if we double, we got about a 10-meter line here. To include the full burial, we'd probably give it to 12 or so.
You all are sticking to the original plan, and because there was this issue about trench and digging.
I believe so, yes. And I default to our heritage inspector, but when we spoke about it, he said he likes that plan.
Yeah.
We both don't want to start with an excavator.
That can constitute extra unpredictability.
Exactly, yeah. As I want to make sure you don't end up reburying someone up there, only to find that there's things here you can't touch, where you were planning on doing structures. It's shown on this side, but he has it in an octagonal shape. And there were 69 total graves that were excavated. And so the idea is that there would be a section for reburial here and here, with room for, if any future graves are disturbed, you would have another place that you could place them within the memorial, so that if there's any further disturbance, everything could come into one locale. And I'm the archaeologist here, and he's an archaeologist as well, the heritage inspector on the island. So we're trying to look at this land, as we know this is an archaeological site already, but is there a place off to the side that we would not disturb any further archaeological remains by doing this memorial on this land? And so our goal is to be able to put a couple small holes to dig them by hand and go down carefully and see what does the soil look like. Are there any other structures or archaeological features we're finding in this area? Or does it look clear? Does it look like it's been disturbed already? Is this a good place to put the memorial? The last thing we'd want to do is to start construction on another project, and then more archaeology is disturbed in the process. So we're trying to make sure that doesn't happen for this round. Well, today we're gonna start laying out the test units where we're going to be digging into the areas just to see if there's no archaeology present. Right? We want to check and make sure that before we dig for any new buildings, there's nothing else that gets disturbed in the process. So they're doing what we call test units today, little 1 meter by 1 meter squares. Yeah.
And also going to do some mapping today to see if we can at least get the coordinates of the test pits and at least have an accurate map of like where you want to at least put the burial. Yeah.
There you go. This is a good way to figure out how much rock we got in there. Just don't hit your hand, eh? Not a big deal if you do. There you go. And try to keep your lines straight as you go. Good job, bud. That's perfect. 21, 94. 20 meters. And that's from our south PD. And then if you can make a note on
meters.
Yes, 21.
Morning.
Lay of the land. These guys were just getting in our first square. You can kind of see the nails.
Okay.
That's going to outline our first test units.
Oh, here. So here's where the first test
And
is.
this big spot will be the first burial. This is where the first mass burial will lie.
Oh, that's very.
And so Zimmerman has been helping us lay that out yesterday.
Okay.
And that's why we're going to try to put one square right in the middle of it
Okay.
as a tester.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're not gonna have a lot of buildings. We're not gonna do that. So the idea is for it to be a garden, a place where people come and sit and reflect and heal
Exactly.
and process. That's what you want.
And as
So,
Kenneth talks about, they use trees and
The tree-
gardens,
yes,
and that's very spiritual and
trees and
connected to the
gardens.
land.
for example, for the
Less
reburial, we want to plant trees. That's a
This site was indicated by Dr. Meek because here is less probably that we find
Likelihood, yes.
any remains.
correct.
So then my system of working was, let me plot the perimeter of the 2000 square meter.
Okay.
That is more or less 30 by 66 meters.
Okay.
So then we took from the road here 30 meters, we ended up here.
Oh. Okay. Oh, this is it.
Yes,
Okay.
this corner that you see here. This is
Okay.
it. I put a bucket so you can see it
See
from
it.
far.
Okay.
And then from this direction we went down
By the tree.
66 meters.
So that's
We gonna, you see this neem tree?
that's it. Yeah. The tree. Yeah.
Left to it, you see some bushes that discolored,
Yeah.
like they are
Left. On the left. Yeah. Uh-huh.
yellow, whatever it is.
Yes.
there. Till it goes still more or less still there.
Okay.
Yeah, we have it marked there also.
Okay.
So then, this is the 30 by 66, which is about 2,100 square meters.
Okay.
So now, based on this, I set out where the mass graves will be located.
Based on that. Okay.
That's how we ended up there.
There.
On the drawing, I had 6 meters from here
Correct.
going,
Okay.
but we took now 10 meters.
Uh-huh.
Because I said eventually we have to take consideration with parking also. So I put an extra 4 meters on it. If you measure from here, go to the first point, it's about 10 meters. So you still have this buffer, eh?
Yeah.
Because
But I think though part of the plan, and that's where government comes in, is that something needs to be done to tackle the erosion, because after years and years it moves up, and then
a
you have
wall
problem.
need to be built just
Then
like the
that's it.
old church cemetery has
Okay.
a fence wall.
Then we do that. Yeah.
That needs to be done.
Okay. A wall.
You need, if you want to make use of this as an
As a wall.
access, you need to excavate this, lower it to that level so that you can swing in and come up here.
And you think
It's
that
possible.
this is the best? This would be the best scenario, this side or that side?
Well, that side brings less cost. But this side now you need to excavate, lower this.
Okay, so we'll start with that today.
Yes, we're gonna dig this out. We'll have another one, most likely over there.
Okay.
And then most likely we'll test one over closer to the edge.
Correct. So 1, 2, 3.
Possibly, yes. And when we dug down at the airport, for example, you could see really clearly there was about 10 centimeters or so of topsoil, kind of modern stuff, and then you started getting tight layers of different kind of dirt that was laid down at different times.
Yes.
And that's how we knew what we were looking at was
Okay.
historic.
Well, because this side is higher. Yeah, we're hitting 26. Call it 30.
Alright.
Yeah.
We'll do a 30 top.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's the danger.
And I'm not even seeing any changes.
No, there's not much change.
Yeah.
Hi everyone, my name is Shomara Valentina. I'm the chairperson of the Statia Cultural Heritage Implementation Committee, and we are here. We are up at Princess. This is a very significant location because we are now busy testing the soil for reburial. Now, how does that work? We are creating test units. We have actually created a test unit. That means that you're gonna carefully scrape away the soil with a shovel to determine if there's any significant find. And if there's a significant find, that would be bagged and that would be analyzed. So we have done, or we are almost completed with the first test unit, and so far, nothing of significance has been found. That is necessary to make sure that when we do conduct the reburial, because there's going to be a mass grave where the test unit is, and once nothing of significance is found, then that gives us the go-ahead, and then one of the mass graves with about 30-something remains will be placed there. To the right, that's Nick, and he's the archaeologist, and that's a helper, that's Gino. Nick is now busy preparing the other test unit. So what's going to happen is that we're going to dig there as well. If nothing of significance is found there, then that gives us the go-ahead for the second mass grave. So as persons know, 69 ancestral remains were excavated in 2021. The remains are currently stored at the Heritage House. We built caskets for the remains. And what we are now doing is we're preparing the site for the actual reburial that is scheduled for November 13th, 2026.
But we'll stop where it looks like around 30 centimeters deep from the high points.
I think at least what 20, probably 26.
I think you're right around there, yeah.
That
So
is
we
there
can.
now. Okay.
And then at that point, we always want to take pictures.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll kind of document each layer that we go through.
Okay.
So we'll take pictures of the bottom, and we try to get pictures of the sides. We want to deal with the what we call spoil, the dirt that's come out of the hole. We're gonna run it through the screen here.
To see if you actually
Huh?
find anything.
Really?
That's right, because this is what's gonna pull out the artifacts for
Isn't
us.
that a gold thing?
Pretty close,
Yeah,
right? It's the
basically.
same kind of
Yeah.
idea. So usually when you're gold panning, you've got water, and you swirl it in a circle, and all the water flies out and leaves the heavy stuff in the middle of the bucket. This, we want all the little thin stuff to drop through, and it'll leave behind everything else.
you may kill or wish the ancestors whatsoever you would like, aloud or within yourself. And we end by saying Ashe. Ashe. Yeah. Ashe.
Ashe.
I just wish and hope that everything goes good, the whole project goes good, and that all involved do their part.
Ashe. By honoring them and giving them the dignity that they deserve and restoring their sovereignty within their civilization as to where we are part of as well. Ashe.
Ashe.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi stations, welcome to day 3 of our community archaeology. We are on the grounds of Princess, and I would like Dr. Nick to explain to you what we will be doing today, day 3 of our community archaeology.
Hello everyone. Yes, as she said, I'm Dr. Nicholas Budsberg, one of the archaeologists here. You can see in the background, this is the proposed land for the memorial for reburying some of the individuals removed from the Golden Rock African Burial Grounds in 2021. Right now we're in a testing phase. Essentially, we don't want to dig holes for new structures or new burials and accidentally disturb other archaeological remains in the process. So we are setting several locations to put little square holes into the earth. We dig slowly by hand. We want the community to be involved as much as they can. We're going to screen that soil as we look for any evidence of past activity, past structures, any other burials. Again, we don't want to disturb anything else in our mission to get these people back into the grounds. Memorial for the reburial. And so what we're trying to do is to make sure we don't accidentally disturb any other remains or other archaeology while trying to dig and put the people back into the ground or to build any other structures. So we know that there was a plantation on this property before, and so we're not sure if there's anything over here. We don't think so, which is why we chose this spot. We don't want to find anything. But this is the approximate location of where one of the reburial mounds will go. And so that's why we put a test hole right in the center of it. So we're kind of going down slowly in layers. What we're looking for is to find changes in sediments. You can kind of see how it gets the dark disappeared and then it goes orange.
Yeah.
After that, that's going to change to another layer.
Yeah.
And what we're seeing is the earth naturally layered on itself. And that tells us that this hasn't been dug up and messed with. It's not pushed earth. Exactly. And in the world of archaeology, if there was an old house here made out of wood and sticks or stakes, you'll still see the round circles and everything in the bottom. Not to mention lots of artifacts, but they'll be in very specific layers.
Right.
You know, you won't see them in the top. You'll get a little bit more. You'll get a ton, and then they start to fade.
Yeah.
And so that kind of can tell us how old or what activity was going on or anything. So right now it looks like it hasn't been dug up before because we can see this pretty good layering. But with the dense rock, and we haven't found any artifacts so far, we're screening everything we dig to make sure. It doesn't look like there's any activity here, at least so far. So this is our test unit number 1. We're just laying out another one right on the other side over there that we'll break into. The dirt's a little different, so we want to make sure both areas are clear. And then if you can see that little white tent down there, that's on top of number 3. There's a bit of a ledge in the property where it looks like they had pushed dirt and kind of created the terrace naturally. So we want to test down there as well. That's more of a future reburial spot too, if there's any other remains disturbed. Right? We don't want to have to redo this whole process in case something else happens along the way. So this site will be marked for any future reburial of any disturbed African graves. Total.
I'm glad you think that, because yesterday I had a tour with a delegation from the Netherlands here, and they were asking about this burial site.
Interesting.
They're welcome by.
and because when we drove by, you guys were walking over there.
Yeah, exactly.
So they started asking about it, And then they were asking if over time, if any more remains are found, what is going to be the process of the burial of those remains? Will they then be brought here, or will they be then just reburied where they are, or is there going to be a ceremony, or you know, those kind of things? Those were the questions they were asking.
That is a bone. Now there's extra points if you can tell me what animal that comes from. Close.
What else do people
Not quite a dino.
A human.
Not quite a human, a little too small. Fish. This is a fish bone. And one of the ways you can tell is this really long spike right here. So this is from its spine, right? You know where your spine is? On your back? So fish have a spine too. And so they would have lots of these little ones all lined up, and then they have this big point underneath.
Now today is day 4 of our community archaeology, and we know community archaeology is simply about getting the community involved in its heritage. I would like Dr. Nick to give us a brief synopsis of what we will be doing today.
Thank you very much. Yes, we're here in the early hours of the morning. We are just finishing up what we're calling test unit number 2. The hole is about 85 centimeters deep. We can see some clear layering of the soil as we go in, but we haven't screened everything yet, but we do know that we have not seen any other obvious artifacts along the way, and no what we call features in the hole. No evidence of housing, fire pits, post holes for other structures, nothing like that yet. So we call this hole clear once we know for sure from the screening piles, but yeah, we feel good to go.
Okay, so today, June 24th, Mr. Zimmerman, our architect, Dr. Nick, our archaeologist, and myself, as chairperson of the implementation committee, met with the Executive Council of Statia. It was a very important meeting. In that meeting, we updated the Executive Council about this project. We explained to them the purpose of the test units. At the same time, we also talked with them about the design. Our design is pretty flexible. It changes as we go along because that has to do with the importance of community engagement. In the meeting, the Commissioner of Culture, Ms. Leadam, stressed the importance of us having constant communication about this reburial and memorialization. And also we have a new heritage inspector, the Xavier Gordon. He will also be in direct communications with us. One of the very important issues that came forward was the importance of having a policy in place for reburial. So just to give you some examples, if we should find ancestral remains, how long should they remain above ground? What does the reburial process entail? Is it affordable for government? So the meeting ended in a very positive way. It was a very fruitful meeting. We do have the cooperation of the Executive Council. We are all engaged and we have committed to working collectively to make sure that this project becomes a reality. Good morning, stations. Today is day 5 of our community archaeology, and I must say we've made some significant progress over the last few days. And I'm here with my team, Mr. Zimmerman and Dr. Nick, and we would like Dr. Nick and Mr. Zimmerman to give a brief summary of what we can expect to see today. Dr. Nick?
Yes, so we're wrapping up our testing strategy. We have 3 holes completed, 3 test units completed. So far we've had no real finds to speak of, which is good for our purposes. There's no intact archaeology in this area that we've been able to find. Behind us, down kind of the ledge here, there's a bit of a drop off, but we're gonna lay in 1, if not 2 more holes that we'll see what we can get done today and tomorrow. We have a few more samples to take, some soils to screen, but after that we'll know for sure if this area is clear of archaeology and we can proceed with our plans, or if we have to make some adjustments.
Okay, good morning station people. The 5th day today. My task today is to assist Dr. Nick with the 3rd and hopefully the 4th pit. And besides that, I am going to build one of these burial mounds, because I understand that a lot of people cannot really visualize how it looks like. So I'm gonna build a miniature one and hopefully one in real size, but of a temporary character. One important thing, Executive Council is coming on site today.
The Island Council
Council members are coming to site, so we're waiting with open arms. We can give information.
But we also see what we call spoil piles, push piles, you know, like dirt's been moved and piled up.
And even in Mention, just above this building there are lots of old ruins there.
Right across that road too, yeah.
Similarly, there was a factory, a sugarcane mill there too.
Yes.
But you probably know the history.
No, I know the history, but
Yeah.
I didn't see it.
Okay.
Do you know when this road came through, or has this one always been here? Because I know the other one was cut recently, so 90s.
Yeah, in the 90s, I think. I wasn't here, I was in St. Martin. But I think that came, you know, it was an all dirt road, actually.
Okay, so it was a dirt road still.
Yeah, it was a dirt road.
Okay.
But recently it was paved, maybe a few 10 years ago.
Excellent, okay. Yeah, we're trying to piece together the puzzle,
Oh,
you know?
Okay.
But this looks so flat, and these, like, there's a terrace here, and then it drops 2 meters, and then there's another flat terrace where the neem tree is, and that red
Well, I
one.
don't know if that was excavated recently, I don't know. Because formerly they used to dig for sand, you know, for
Ah, yes, so that was another,
sand.
yes,
You
yeah.
know, so I don't know if this, but I'm only now noticing this too, you know, that there is a
The drop, right?
there's a
Yeah,
drop
yeah.
there.
Yeah, and there's another one after that neem tree, it kind of drops again,
Oh, okay.
and then it's a little rough.
Yeah, then
Down
you have
there.
the bearing ground.
And it would make sense they're giving the burial ground some room,
Yes.
but then they're plowing or planting up here and down there. And that would make sense of why we're not finding a lot of artifacts, because they are cleaning that land out, they're plowing it, they're getting rid of extra rocks and artifacts.
We gather here again on this occasion, this special, extraordinary occasion, in order to continue remembering the sacrifices of our ancestors, giving them honor and recognition for their sacrifices as we continue on their path they laid down for us going forward. Ashe.
Ashe.
Yeah.
We're all standing around one of our first test units. The greater area that you can see kind of back to where that pile of sand is, and all the way down to you can see the neem tree and the red flag in the distance. This is being designated as the memorial ground. And so we wanted to make sure that when we are digging any new burials or putting in any structures down lower, that we're not accidentally digging into any other archaeological ruins or disturbing any other burials. We are outside of the cemetery by at least 40 meters. So we're trying to give space, but we want to make sure we test and we find that there's nothing that will accidentally disturb. And so far we've completed 3 of these units. We're working on a 4th one, but we've really got no evidence that there was any human occupation in the past here, human use. We know from some oral histories of people coming to talk to us that this was plowed land within the 20th century, so the soil was being disturbed and possibly used for digging of sand. So reasons to believe that there's already been disturbance on the land as well. But for us, for our purposes, so far everything is coming back what we call archaeologically negative. There's nothing that would prevent us from moving forward with the project.
Okay. And maybe Mr. Zimmerman can give a little more in-depth explanation about our design that is in progress.
Before the design, let me talk a little bit still about the land, because when it was said that this land was designated for the reburial, we had to actually find out exactly where is this land, but exactly where, from which point to which point. So because we need 2,000 square meters, we set out an area starting from that pole there, electrical pole there, 30 meters coming this direction. That's where the bucket and the sand are there. And then from that go down 70 meters. So that's about 30 times 70, 2,100 square meters. The cadastre will have to determine if it's exactly there or a meter here or a little bit here. So it's a little guesswork at this moment. Next thing we did is, based on the design that we have, I measure where the buildings would be located on this plot. And in this case, specifically, the 2 what we call mass graves, where the 69 remains will be reburied. So one of them is here. You can see the red line mark there on the ground. It's about 3 by 6 meters long, but we wanted it now in a round shape, the round shape has to be in. So we're scaling back to that design. The same thing we did over there. Just now when you all came, you saw me spraying red to refresh it so you can see better, but there's another one there. And then consequently, he could have pinpoint exactly where he want to dig. Yeah. The same thing with the other 2 down there. You mentioned already we stay away 35 meters from the cemetery wall. I had a little difficulty to show people exactly what a burial mound is, because I make sketches, I explained, but still, you know, I wasn't doing the best I could to make people understand. So that's why this morning we built this miniature one. If we all can pass over here. So this is a mini one. You have to imagine what you're seeing here, 3 times bigger, 3 times wider, and 3 times longer, and about, I think the height gonna be about this height. Yeah?
Once we have received the official decree from the Executive Council, we have written a letter requesting that, so we are awaiting word. So I'm appealing to you as our representatives to see to it that this happens, because without that funding, it would be very difficult for us to complete this. So we actually need the official decree which states that this land is designated for the purpose of the reburial and the memorialization of the ancestral remains. So, yes.
But I mean, they know you have a timeline, eh? You have a deadline when this.
Yes.
The burial is scheduled for the 13th of November.
Yes.
So what Mrs. Valentina is really saying, in essence, Mrs. Smith, yes, indeed, we know the procedure is that the executive council how to issue that, but at the same time, the voices of the island council.
I just want to know that they also make their commitment to work towards your deadline. That's
Well, the commissioner did indicate that we will try to do all that we can do to try to meet that that deadline, but we need the official decree. That's what we need, because we need that right now, because we need the funding. So we had to take funding from elsewhere to be able to make this happen today. That's basically what I thought is important to mention.
So after that, we think we've tested this area sufficiently. But when they still come and do construction, once there's a final plan, the number of buildings or what have you, we'll still have archaeologists monitor as those machines are going to scrape in layers for us anyways. Just in case there's something your test pits don't hit, you're still not disturbing something. But we need ultimately a negative archaeological survey within the area to proceed, and it looks like that's where we're at. So it's a good sign in terms of the project. So I would also think that with your design, it's flexible enough, and there's enough space here that if you end up finding hundreds of more individuals, there are ways to incorporate it in the landforms without needing to add additional spaces, additional memorials. So it's good not to make it a very small, tight plot. Yeah, there's room to work. And right around 60.
Yeah.
Looks like 60, huh?
Yeah, it should be around
57.
That's good. And you found the ceramic around 30.
Yes.
About half the distance. Excellent. Excellent.